Hi, I'm Bran, and I love Hallmark fall movies.
Hey, it's Panda, and I like Hallmark fall movies.
I'm Dan, and I despise Hallmark fall movies, and this is the Deck the Hallmark podcast. Movie, Brand. I don't know how I could have forgotten.
You know what? When fall is here, and fall is here.
Mid-August, baby.
And I tell you what, the amount of fall is sometimes overwhelming to me.
It is overwhelming.
From my TV set.
The crispness comes through the screen.
Crisp.
That's right.
Yep. I can't.
I can't.
Dang it, Rick.
Gets me every time. Guys, I missed you boys last Tuesday.
Yeah.
I know
man,
we did this whole
without you.
I know we did this whole bit on Wednesday and Thursday. Because those episodes clearly weren't recorded ahead of time.
No, of course.
And but it's great to be back with you doing a new movie.
How is California,
on a
Brand? In 3 words.
Deceivingly good vibes.
Deceptively good vibes?
Sure. So I never updated you, Dan. So I get off the plane. It's in the 70s. The wind is blowing. I'm like, this is magical.
Yeah.
Get in the rental car, which also is a story. There's I don't need to get into that story.
You can do that later.
And it feels great out. And I'm like, this is amazing. California is awesome.
Do you have a Dream Anna cardigan?
Huh?
Dream Anna cardigan?
Yes, that's exactly right. And so I get in the car and I start driving, and I'm in the LA traffic, and I'm like, this is why I hate this place. And I look down at the car thermometer thing that says the outdoor temperature, and it says 88, and I'm like, what happened here? So I'm like, my wife was with me. I was like, baby, open up the weather app and tell me what you see there. And she says it's like 88 degrees outside. And I'm like, what happened from LAX to here? It's like 10 miles. Apparently it's an elevation situation.
Yeah.
LAX is higher than the rest of LA County.
Really? So everyone's almost like ascending a mountain to go to LAX.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
We're descending into Los Angeles.
And it was a real big treat. And by treat, I mean not that.
Man,
but
I
everything
spent
else
the
was
last
great.
week thinking that you had great weather.
I know. I didn't.
I was jealous the whole time, so it makes me feel a little bit better.
Were you close to the convention?
My Airbnb?
Yeah.
It was like 10, 15 minutes.
That's not bad.
So 30 sometimes, depending on the traffic.
Yeah. How many people are out there driving?
But overall, a great time, great vibes out there at the Christmas Con. I will say a good bit smaller than what we're used to over at the New Jersey Christmas Con. Very excited to get back out there in December in New Jersey. Panda?
We'll see.
Harold's
it's a TBD.
Deli.
Harold's Deli.
Guys, I'm not opposed.
We're just going to keep saying it. Are those trips a large reason why you're not going to do the pod anymore? Maybe. Are you still going to go on the trip?
Yeah, maybe.
Probably. Friendship. There's nothing we can do about it.
It's weird.
But I'm very excited. And guys, you know what I'm also really excited
Can't
about?
do this travel. When are you guys travel?
What is that?
Man, the travel's really hard.
Did I say the travel was the reason?
You guys are still going to New Jersey, huh?
I wish it was.
When is it?
That sounds like a lot of fun. I'll just clip. Oh, nope. Okay.
Oh, no.
All I'm saying is, like, if there are points available, I mean, I won't turn it down. Bramblefest is coming up this weekend, boys. Can you believe it?
It's right around the corner.
Okay, it is exciting. For some reason, when you said finally, the way you said it made it sound like you're wishing that it was over.
No, finally, it's here.
That's exactly right.
It's exciting.
It's your big hoorah send-off.
Yeah, absolutely. It is my big hoorah send-off.
Man, how are you feeling about that?
You know what? I think my heart and my mind are aligned with good vibes.
Good. Now, we had a lot of great people that are joining us, and one of them is our good friend Jax, who is going to be, you'll hear later this week, doing When Calls the Heart for the foreseeable future.
That's right.
But she is also going to be there because we're going to be reviewing an Up TV movie.
Oh, my gosh.
Man,
Panda's last movie is going to be an Up TV classic.
You don't even get the Paul Campbell joint.
No, you don't. You don't even get the Delaney's. No Delaney's here for you. It's
or
just
tennis.
All Up TV.
Game
or tennis.
Set Love.
But it is very exciting. It's going to be a lot of fun over at Bramblefest, and so we hope that you're coming to see us. And if not, the virtual tickets are still available.
That's right.
deckthehallmark.com/.
It's a fun time. There'll be trivia, all kinds of fun things to do on the virtual end of
That's
things.
exactly right. What's the best?
Can I win it?
Yeah, you can.
You can win it, yes.
Will
you win it? I don't know.
Probably won't.
Guys, can I ask you this one? And this is a kind of a controversial question, but are you pro toggle?
Yeah.
Who wouldn't be?
Well, that's what I'm saying, but there's a whole subreddit called anti-toggle.
Anti-toggle? There's an anti-toggle subreddit. I saw them live.
Wait, that they don't like toggling?
They think that toggles are getting out of hand.
You think there's too many of them?
Too
or they
many
have too
toggles.
much power?
No, too many toggles.
Wow.
So it's not. They're overwhelmed by the quantity, not the quality of the toggle.
They don't really care if the toggle's good or bad. They just think there's
too many toggles. And we need to toggle down the toggle.
Actually, I've been thinking about this. I was thinking about this the other day. I wish there were more toggles.
I've been thinking about this the other day. I wish there were more toggles.
I wish there were.
So you're a part of the pro toggle.
Very much
subreddit.
pro toggle.
Wow.
I don't know if I don't.
It's time for 5-word debate. Hello, everybody. Welcome to 5-word debate, where we give Panda and Dan 5 words to debate a very hot button issue. In this case, it is whether we should be more toggles or less toggles in this here world. I'll start with you, Panda.
Okay. Toggles are
sit,
the
stay,
best
good
thing.
Boy.
Toggle, sit, stay.
Good boy.
Good boy. I think I gotta go with Dan on this one.
Yeah.
Son of a gun.
Yeah.
I don't know how you wouldn't.
That's close. Are you guys ready to talk about romance in style?
Born ready.
So, Romance in Style originally aired on August 13th, 2022, and it went a little something like this. Ella is a sewer. That's her words, not mine. She is there's a hotshot deal maker who really likes her style, and Fashion Week is a-coming. Maybe she'll become an actual designer. Who can tell? The next day, she's in line for coffee, and this guy's holding up the line. The nerve of this guy. His name is Derek, and he's a real dinker. We'll call him Derek the Dinker. And he's going to be the next head of this big fashion magazine that her friend works for. Apparently, his dad owns the magazine. He kind of comes in, helps money get back into people's pockets and stuff when magazines are declining, which I would never say magazines are ever declining. They are the future of entertainment.
Were they ever the present of entertainment?
We're living
magazines?
in it. We are the past, present, and the future.
All
magazines.
in one. Okay.
Magazines are for everyone. So she doesn't really know who he is. She starts to tell him off. I can't believe you would hold up the coffee line, blah, blah, blah. She continues to not care who he is, and that he's a hotshot deal maker, which he kind of likes, and asks that if she would be willing to help him understand fashion, just in general. She's like, whatever. He starts bringing her around more and more and ends up asking her to be his official fashion advisor to help him run the magazine. And she's like, I will do this on one condition. No money.
Respect.
Only respect. Show me some respect.
What do you think you're doing there?
Just call it this girl in this movie.
It's like a combination of The Godfather and Rodney Dangerfield.
Yo, I
can't.
I don't know respect.
I'm gonna take your
It's that R-E-S-P-E-C-T.
It's that Dangerfield Godfather crossover you never knew you wanted.
That's exactly right. She just wants a story about her in the digital version, because digital is the new bread and butter of life. That's the saying. I don't know what you want from me.
Digital is the new bread and butter of life. That's a good one. It rolls off the tongue.
He's like, yeah, no brainer. Cool. So they start hanging out more and more, and she starts to share about how she got her start in fashion, how she wants to make fashion that works for all types of people, no matter their size. And so he's like, whoa, I've never even thought about this before. What? Everyone needs clothes. Then he's like, he saves her from a bike or something that's going down, pulls her close. They get real close for a long time, and none of us are upset about it. They end up going out to dinner one night, and they're flirting, I think. She ends up joining him for basketball coaching, and they're all flirty fun time in front of the kids. The kids are, trying to have a good time learning basketball, but that's neither here nor there. They're walking home, and they kiss, and she's like, uh-oh, gotta go. Derek decides to fight to have women of all sizes represented in the magazine, but the editor is like, no, we're not going to do that. Derek's dad wants to let his son do what he thinks is best, but when he sees Derek and Ella getting very close, he's like, your judgment might be clouded, son. She comes over and he plays the piano. She puts her head on his shoulder. It's a real moment, and we love it. The editor really doesn't want Ella to be at this really big party with advertisers and stuff, but Derek makes sure that she is there. But at the party, this girl who's like just not kind basically tells her that Derek is just using her and body positivity to sell ads. He doesn't actually care about you. He only cares about the money. And so she leaves the party early, which is awkward because he calls her on stage and then just sits there like a doofus. The next day, he makes it all good. He's like, listen, that girl's dumb. I really like you. And also, yeah, so what? We sell ads. That's what I do. But I do really like you. And she's like, okay, cool. And so then they go to this photo shoot, and Candace Huffin is there. We all know her.
Yeah.
We love her. And then Lizzo starts to play. And we're all like, yeah. And they all are very happy at the end of this movie. And then it ends. And that, my friends, was Romance in Style. Let's give it up for Lizzo, everybody.
My goodness.
Yes.
We love Lizzo. In a minute, we're going to be right back to talk about more of Romance in Style. But first, a little word from the birds. The ad birds. Fun, product. Buy. Get it. Tweet. Oh, they didn't say we'd be back, but we are.
They did. We actually said specifically.
But they didn't.
Who is they? The haters?
No, Clary and Carmichael, who do this show.
Does so much around here.
They do the show simultaneously about our show and how it's going.
As it's happening live.
So let's cut it over to those guys.
They're not going to be back. I can tell you that right now.
Oh, it doesn't look like they're back. It doesn't look like they're back.
But they're fooling
Let's
you.
send it over to our on-the-field correspondent, Michael. Michael?
Oh, hello.
Can you see if they're back?
I can't see a doggone
We
thing.
said they wouldn't be back. You tell us we're right.
If they're back?
I've got my binoculars out.
You're on the field, though. I thought you'd be right there in the thick of it.
I am. I still need
Why
binoculars.
are you so far away, Michael?
Oh.
Be closer.
Rig is on the phone. Rig, are you there?
I'm there. If they're not doing the show anymore, can you tell them that they owe me a sub-club card?
A what?
Sub-club card. I bet them a sub-club card they would not make it to July
Rick?
1st.
Are you on the phone with those guys?
1 second, Brant. I'm on the phone with Michael, Clary, and the other guy.
I understand.
Yeah.
Buddy, you can't be doing that right now.
Yes, I can.
No, because it's distracting. We let them
Club fully punch.
We let them do
I
this.
don't want a gift card to Subway.
Right, but Rick,
I want you to put the stamps on the card one at a time and hand me the
I have 9
completed
stamps. I have
card.
9 stamps. Is that
it's
enough?
10, bucko.
Fine, I'll give you the 10 stamp.
Club card.
Rick,
I still can't see anybody from where I'm at.
Hey, get closer. I don't know how many times I got to tell you to get closer.
Clary out.
Wow.
Now, Rick,
it was like we threw a pebble in a creek and then all the ripples. Like there was so much.
Rick, we let them do that show as long as they are outside.
Yeah.
But you taking the call inside disrupts what we're doing.
And you could probably hear some feedback from their audio through my speaker on the phone that I have.
Actually, no, it was actually pristine
Pretty
audio.
clear.
Yeah.
All right, I'm working on a new tech.
Yeah, wow, okay.
Yeah. Mute 2, not 1.
Mute 2.
2
not
2 O's.
200.
Mute 2, not
Mute
1.
2. Like we need to mute them too.
Yeah, but not 1.
What is it?
You know, mic 1?
Yeah.
You never mute mic 1.
Okay. But you mute
2.
the number because you're holding up the number 2.
Who's holding up 2?
You are with your
No.
hand.
OO, TOO, 2 O's.
Okay. So mute it as well
Mute
also.
2, but not 1.
What are we muting though? If
The
we're
sound
muting
that you
2.
don't want to hear.
So we mute all
Mute
that,
as
too,
well. Yeah.
but not mic 1.
1.
Got it.
God.
Got it. Clear as crystal. It's time for the
off.
hot take. It's where we share exactly what we thought of this movie. And Panda, I heard last week about GQ.
Yep.
And how things are kind of going
Thank
for
you.
you.
Yep.
I actually got word from them that
Okay.
they have since passed.
Okay.
But Army Kids Weekly has picked you up.
Yes.
Dude, Army Kids Week, that's a big
yeah.
get.
This is a big get
It's
because this
huge.
is your way back into the hearts and minds of a very small group of people. But
Gotta start somewhere.
everything matters.
I
So
would imagine there were a lot of Army kids, like kids of.
but everybody that gets that magazine,
Yeah, you're right. Fair enough.
Panda, tell the Army Kids what's up.
Listen here, Army kids. I wanted to chat with you one-on-one about this movie called Romance and Style.
Look at me, just me and you.
I know life's tough. Sometimes your parents aren't around when you want them. They're out on tour. But here's the deal. The one thing you need to know is Romance and Style is... listen, this movie's interesting because I really like the lead girl. What's her name?
JC.
JC. Yeah, I love her. She's great. They have written a character who is very strong-willed, I think, in this, knows what she's after, is professional throughout, desires to kind of rise above, and she essentially gets what she wants in this movie, which I really appreciate that. There's not this idea of having to defer to the guy's dreams or anything like that. And so I really like that. I like the way she plays this character. There's a lot of fun banter in this movie. That said, I don't know if this movie's that interesting in the grand scheme of things. It essentially amounts to being a little bit of a party planning movie. And the whole premise of this movie is body positivity, which is, I guess, in theory, a good concept. It's a good plot point, but they hammer it home in a way that's kind of awkward. I don't know any other way of saying that. And
patronizing.
It's patronizing. That's the best way of describing that. Yeah. And listen, I think that's a great message to send to people. That said, the way they choose to send it is kind of gimmicky, just to be honest with you. And I don't know if it really resonates. I don't know if it really lands what they're hoping it does. And so I don't know. Mixed bag, and I guess for me the most disappointing thing in this entire movie is, again, not a fall movie.
That's the most disappointing.
Not
thing.
a fall movie. In the grand scheme of things,
They patronize body positivity, but worse than that,
there's no pumpkin spice.
Nary a leaf to be found.
Yeah, accurate.
guys, you could do both. I'm just saying, pumpkin spice. Do I need to say more? Scarves. A cardigan.
Hay rides.
We can have positivity and fun with apples.
But more importantly, fall stuff.
More importantly, fall stuff.
Are you?
That's
good?
for you, Army kids. You're welcome.
So I think we can all agree Lizzo's fantastic.
Oh,
yes.
And should end every movie with a Lizzo joint. This movie was just okay for me. I really like Hollingsworth. I've put it on record multiple times, and so I'll do it again. He's a delight. And I really liked her. I thought she was really wonderful. The interesting thing about this movie is that it preaches a message very loud and clear that I think everybody is for. Yeah. It's not like you're trying, like, who do we still need to convince about this, that everybody should be accepted for who they are and celebrated and seen? Is anybody like, turning this movie off because this message is anti what I believe. I don't think so. I think this is pretty much universal. It was such an odd thing to me. Like, I would have rather the movie have just been these two doing other stuff without the banging of that drum over and over again, a drum that we would all be like, yes to this. So that was an interesting thing to me, because like, it's not, like, lots of times when they're trying to get like a message across, it's like a message that like maybe we don't all agree with, or maybe it's something that we've like never heard before. But this is like very like new to Hallmark, but not new to everybody. It's like felt like it's something we've all heard and agree with. So that was an interesting element of this movie, and it just like kept happening. And then it all ended very abruptly for me as well, which again, it ended with Lizzo, so I'm not upset about it. But it all just kind of like, yes, I forgive you about what I heard from the girl. Let's go to this photo shoot. Yay, we did it. The digital is done. So I don't know. It felt a little bit rushed at the end, and but I liked the two of them together, and I thought that was all fine and good. Dan?
Yeah, I got a lot of thoughts on this movie, and I'm just trying to organize to articulate. But just to get out of the way, I think that J.C. Elliott, Ben Hollingsworth are both capable, good chemistry, really great. Would love to see more of both of them. They're wonderful. I think the movie doesn't work for a number of reasons. One is you have this woman who is, by all intents and purposes, strong, independent. They try to go out of their way to make sure it's not a movie where she's adored in spite of being different. But in doing so, they create a character that is strong and independent, but does dumb things like take a job for no money, which is stupid, and then believe the one character who is like just like a classic villain. Like, the dude has given her no reason to think that he is in it for any, like, he has done everything right, and then the villain of the movie is like, he's a bad person, right, with no proof, and she's like, that's it. Really bad there, bad across the board, not a lot to hang your hat on in the film. And then when it comes to body positivity, why can't we just have a movie where this, like, with two people acting that are just normal? I would love to think that the intent is good. I would love to think that Hallmark, when it came to racial inclusivity and when it came to inclusion of the queer community, Hallmark had tried to fail forward. Like, they tried to include people, and then it was weird and awkward, and we've started to finally get to a place where it's just inculcated into the culture of watching these movies. And I would think that mountain shouldn't be as high for body positivity, but apparently it is. Where
well, this, it's like with what was that? It was a Jingle Bell Bride or whatever. When it was a first interracial couple, it wasn't like we can be a couple too. It just was.
That's right.
What it was.
But I think I try to tell my kids this, that I teach and that I raise my boys at home, that impact is so much more important than intent. So often we like to defend ourselves and justify ourselves and our actions by what we meant in our hearts and in our heads. And that's a bad way to live, because you can mean well and still impact someone poorly. And I can imagine being someone that is definitely like plus size, like I am, like my sizes aren't found typically in stores. Like, I can imagine feeling as though you're being patronized watching this movie. And I can imagine that the intent of Hallmark was good. The impact, I think, could be really detrimental. And so, God bless them for trying to be inclusive, but this seemed like a really, really tone-deaf attempt to do so. Yeah. And that's unfortunate. And I like the two leads, but the movie, so it's tone-deaf attempt. The impact is bad, even if the intent is good. The impact is bad. And then it's not a well thought out movie. She leaves her paying job to work a job just for respect. They make her strong and independent to make sure she's not someone that's a damsel in distress for, I guess, body positivity reasons, even though she looks basically like everyone else in this movie does. And then lastly, they do all this under the guise of a thinly veiled Cinderella illustration, which is it's a bad time to do it. It's a bad time to do that illustration that's clearly there. The three models.
Bad time every time. Don't do it.
Yeah, it just so much so much poor to say about this movie. So much I could say poorly about the impact of the film, and then the two leads are kind of stuck there doing the best they can with what they have. And so, yeah, not a great time at the movies, gang. I'm sorry, just not.
All the feels, Panda.
The one scene that I really liked is they're both at the piano. He's playing it, and then she just kind of leans her head against his shoulder. I like that scene. I don't know why. It was a sweet moment. Yeah, it worked for me.
Did I mention Lizzo in this movie?
Have you? I'm not sure.
I don't know.
I love Lizzo, and so it was I honest didn't believe that it was happening.
I was stunned as well.
I had to ask all my friends and my neighbors, like, is this real? And they confirmed UFOs, which I didn't ask for, but they said
they confirmed UFOs.
Also, did you see
They're
that?
like, by the way, Bran.
Yeah.
There are also confirmed sightings of unidentified flying objects.
Did you know that they've changed the names?
Yeah.
It's not
Did
UFO.
you know it's not UFO anymore? What
That's
is
exactly
it? Is
right.
it OFO? EFO? IFO? AFO?
What did you go, and then I'll let everybody know.
It's BOGO.
No, that's buy one get one.
Yeah, you can buy one, get one alien.
Okay.
You can't buy an alien.
You can, and you get one. Half off.
Wait, you can buy an alien and
And
you
then
can
you
get
get
a second alien.
Half off. So you can choose upper half, lower half.
So are you?
There's a place that's a alien butcher. It's an alien butcher. You buy one, you get one a half off.
So I'm buying half of one.
Yeah, well, you buy a whole one, and then you get a half of one for free.
So I get one and a half, but either it's the top part or the lower part.
Yeah, you get to choose.
Well, the top part.
No. You know why you go with the bottom part?
Why?
My pants.
Yeah. Okay. They're UAPs now, unidentifiable.
WAPs?
I don't-
Unexplained aerial phenomena.
It's just one U away.
Don't like it. Don't like it.
Yeah. Yeah. So one U away, a U is one U away from a W.
That's right.
It's true.
Because it's a double U. You got that right.
Are you
knew
sure
that.
it's a double V? Because
It's more like a double
It's more
V.
like a double V.
But it's called a W.
Well, who did that?
The person that wrote their W with rounded bottoms instead of cornered bottoms.
Hello.
Yeah, who is this?
W. Simpson.
W. Sampson?
Yes.
I have a feeling that you're a rounded bottom W kind of guy.
What are we talking about? I was told there would be tasty frozen treats.
You were told wrong, W.
Yes.
Sampson.
So what do you need to know about?
I just asked you.
What? Frozen treats?
I love this guy.
Yes.
I love him. What kind of frozen treats do you have in mind?
Anything? The Choco Taco.
I have bad news for you, W. Sampson.
What?
Taco Bell getting rid of the Choco Taco.
Wait, they were made by Taco Bell? Is that accurate?
Yes, they were. Or they were at least sold there.
I think they're also sold in grocery stores.
Then why are you asking me? Just leave. Hang up on him, Tracy.
I'm in studio.
If you want to educate
I'm going to
us,
go back to Claret, who launched me out there outside your studio. Mute 2.
not one.
Not 1. Out. Love him.
He's
He's
wild.
something. W. Sampson.
Dan?
I like the first kiss, the old mid-movie kiss.
Yeah.
I thought it was great because there's this, this tension and her not wanting to fall for this guy, but wanting to fall for him. And I just thought it was really good. I thought it was a good kiss. I thought the way they handled it, I thought the scene was well acted. I like that scene.
Let's take one more quick break. We'll come back and we'll see what type of trouble we can get into, boys. Am I right, everybody? You're on the Deck Dollar Podcast. I had no idea W was
Here for frozen treats.
Well, no, it was W's. I had no idea.
Until this moment?
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay. You knew.
Yes.
2 U's. W.
Did you know, or does it just make sense?
I mean,
Yes.
I don't know. Yeah.
You before this moment, you thought of it as the reason they call it W
Yes.
is because it's 2 U's.
Yeah.
Okay. That's all I needed.
I speak so that others don't feel alone.
But my that's why I would say, though, I've always thought of it more as a double V. It looks more, but I get the curve versus the point.
Yeah.
But I've always been a point boy.
Yeah.
boy.
Did someone say W?
No.
Hey, W. Sampson.
Can I ask you guys this?
Is it about frozen treats?
If I say yes, will you throw me out?
I will.
No.
Okay.
So what's your question?
Great popsicles, are they going away? W out. I've heard grape is going away. I don't know about the popsicles.
I don't know.
You know what? Never mind. We can do that later.
Guys, let's get to the way. Well, let's start with you, Panda Panda. What you waiting on? What you wanting?
I just want to make sure I have this straight. Aspiring designer and aspiring journalist are living in that apartment in New York.
Oh, they're baller.
They're crushing it.
She's by her own definition, a sewer, not a seamstress. She just sews. And she has got basically a brownstone apartment in New York City.
It is unreal, guys. That is luxury.
Yeah.
She says to
If
him,
you had that in Greenville, that would be luxury.
yeah, absolutely. If you
Just
had
be
that in
clear.
Greenville, like it's not just New York,
Yeah.
it's anywhere. That's a nice place for two aspiring individuals.
That's right.
That
You
is
haven't
impressive.
made it yet. That's right.
She says to Derek at one point, she's mad at him. She goes, "I can't believe a guy doesn't like soy milk," and I would suggest to you that there's probably several people who would not like soy milk.
I don't like soy milk.
It's not that weird. It's fine. It's not like I want it in my coffee all the time. It's come on, calm it down. She might be the first millennial ever to say, I don't think I want a paycheck. I would rather have respect.
That's right.
Because you know how artists love when you just give them shout outs. That's their favorite thing. It's just the shout out.
It is. This was just the bridge too far. I think when they were writing the movie, they were like, we got to make it different, body positivity. She can't do anything for any approval of anyone in any form. So she's just going to say respect here. Yeah. And that sounds great in a writer's room or pitching a Hallmark. But in reality, that's the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
Stupid.
Like, what are you doing? Like, you just want respect. What are you going to do to pay the bills? Does the landlord also take respect when you try to pay him?
But how dumb is it
her?
also that this is a brand new publication that they're not sure is going to work?
That's right.
And she's like, I want an article written by my friend, who I'm not entirely sure is a great journalist either. To be like, listen, let's just be real. That's the stupidest thing. It's bad. It took me a little bit out of the movie when she said that. The only other scene that just was a wait what for me, and it just made me laugh. And I don't know if it was not intentional, and so it just makes it bad at this point. They both feel the silk dress or whatever, and she's like, silk, it's very seductive, and they both hold it, and then look seductively into one another's eyes, and it's just the weirdest bit. It's just I've never listen.
Well, can I ask you this? Have you ever felt silk?
Yes.
Then you'd get it.
You'd get it.
There's nothing you can do. When the silk takes over,
It's just you lock eyes with the nearest person.
the silk's gonna get
And
you.
it's just there's nothing you can do about it. Listen, I've felt silk before. My response is always the same. I'm like, ooh,
Silky.
silky, and that's it. Like that. I don't sit there and I'm just not like, oh yeah, okay.
Well, then you haven't touched pure silk.
Yeah.
There's a difference. When you touch pure silk, you immediately make eyes.
Really?
That's right.
I can't help it.
Barry White
Some
starts
people,
playing, it's crazy.
Some people say that the rhythm is going to get you, and I push back on that lovingly and say no, pure silk.
The pure silk's going to get you.
I had no idea.
Well, you're welcome.
Now you know.
Was that W?
Yes. Was that it, buddy?
Yeah.
They meet for the first time. They walk out. She's walking away. He walks up behind her. She says, or it's reversed,
he
whatever.
walks
Yeah, that's right.
out in
and
front.
yeah, that's right.
She
and,
catches up.
and he says, and we'll do a diagram here in just a second. We'll bring out the board. He says, "Are you following me?" And she says, "I was going to ask you the same thing."
No.
You.
No.
So just for those of you at home, so someone's in front of you, and then there's someone behind you. The front person can ask, "Why are you following me?" The person behind cannot, because they're the one behind.
They can't say, "Why are you following me?"
I was going to ask you the same thing. That's not
It's just
can't do that.
basic math.
base. Yeah, to do the math.
Just
But
straight up. You can't do it.
They're at a photo shoot and someone says that someone requested cargo pants. And I didn't see it coming from a mile away, but I mean, I'm here for it.
Are they back? Are cargo pants back?
I have been waiting for this.
Somebody sound the alarm. When they're back, sound the alarm.
Cargo!
That's the cargo horn.
Yeah,
totally
exactly
different.
Right. To go back to the fact that she should have taken the money, when they're having a conversation about how he's filthy rich or whatever, she says, I can barely afford a ticket to Pittsburgh. Well, you know what would have helped is the money.
Paycheck.
Is any of the monies that you turned down. That would have been really great. But what can you do? Dano?
Yeah, I've never seen a human being more likely to button and unbutton his suit jacket for no reason than Ben Hollingsworth in this film. I don't know if he thinks that makes him look like more uppity or more wealthy, but for no reason, he will button it and unbutton it. Not like I've got to go, I got to stand up, I got to sit down. He's just standing there, buttoning, unbuttoning, over and over again. And it may have been the cuts they used where he did it once in every scene and they happened to take that take in every scene.
It's impressive.
But it becomes weird. It becomes like something he's doing out of habit, like he can't stop, like it's just an obsessive tick he has to button and unbutton his jacket.
I feel that, though, because I never know what to do.
It's
with
stand
the
up
button.
unbutton or stand up button, sit down unbutton.
But then I always get it in my mind. I'm like, well, what if I shouldn't, though?
Yeah. Okay.
What if I stumble?
Can we talk about the completely? Ooh. What if I lose my step?
What if I lose my button and I make fools of us all?
Can we talk about the fact that every movie before this that I've ever seen on Hallmark does this silly thing where they transition from one scene to another normally? Like in every other movie, it's like that scene ended. This one's going to begin. Maybe some music, maybe a pan over, maybe the screen goes black, maybe the next scene just starts. This movie's like, no, that's stupid. You know what you should do? Have quick shots of models and magazine covers. Every time we transition scenes. Were they short 3 minutes? And they were like, what if we just pop these in here?
Listen, as people who say, let's switch it up, do something new, I appreciated the gumption.
But it was awful. It was very off-putting.
It wasn't for me. Well, it's like it felt like what they're going for is like quick magazine time, New York minute type stuff. Like put it back to Vincent, like that. We're doing stuff. We're moving.
We're gooing stuff.
We're gooing stuff.
Iron stuff.
We're gooing stuff, baby.
You know, we've seen this several times in the movies where a rich dude wants to show that he has like a softer, more sensitive side. And he's like helping kids out somewhere. And the woman always walks in and she's like, oh my gosh, Ben's here and he's doing the thing. Like, he's nice. Like, it happened in Double Holiday. I remember Chris Palaha, basketball with the kids. But in this movie, Ben Hollingsworth tells her he's taking her on a date. She gets dressed up and he takes her to sit in the bleachers while he helps underprivileged kids learn basketball. That's a move, dude. Like that single-handedly undercuts any nice thing you're trying to do. Hey, I thought today for the date what we do is I would take you to the place where you could watch me be a good guy.
Maybe
that's what you should do.
Maybe he forgot that he had b-ball on the books.
He's dressed for it when he picks her
maybe
up.
I'm saying maybe he like remember like hey, we're going on a date. He's getting ready. He's
very kind
like,
read of that situation. So he invites her to this party, and then she gets uninvited by the redheaded demon.
Right.
And then
like,
he calls her back, and he's like, "You're invited to this thing."
Yep.
And this is an actual back and forth that happens. He says, "Believe me, you're invited," and she says, "Are you sure?" And he says, "So sure, I don't even have the words." and that's the end of the scene. You're invited. Are you sure? So sure, I don't even have the words.
I'm with him on that one.
Okay, I guess if that's what you're going for. I don't know. And then lastly, the first time he asked her out on a date where he's like, we can talk business, but let's go on a date. And it's this fancy restaurant. I want to point out in every Hallmark movie I've seen up until this point, every time that first date request has happened, when they show up for that date, they have both been dressed up to the nines. Both of these people who are on their first date with someone they are really falling for wore exactly what they wore to work to the restaurant. Like, That was a case of wardrobe didn't have time to change
But
things.
to be fair, they both work in a fashion building.
They do.
So maybe it's just all
But
fashion.
you would
It's all
think
rise
it
fashion.
would be even more important then to say, I'm going to even show out more at this date.
Fashion people don't like to change fashion.
Fashion people don't like to change fashion. I've said that for years.
Fashion people don't like to change fashion.
They don't. He hurts his ankle. This is the last one. He hurts his ankle. We don't see the injury happen. We just see her like holding the ankle. And some dude brings over what they're calling an ice pack. And it was an ice pack that may have seen a freezer years ago. It was just like a jelly thing. Like it did not, like it was clearly warm. Like it just was useless. Like a completely useless prop. They shouldn't have even brought it over. That's all I got.
It's time for What the Hallmark is Part Show. We wonder what it could have been. Maybe having some clear questions that we still have. Panda.
So he decides to have like a business dinner with her and his friend. It's clear that he invites his friend, who's the graphic designer, over.
Yeah.
And he has an abundance of candles lit for
So
this
many.
dinner. So many. It is on par with When Calls the Heart at the Wedding and Jack. Like, there's that many candles, okay? So my thing is, what mood are you trying to set? Or what do you think he was trying to go for? Because clearly there comes a moment where the guy's like, oh, I need to leave. But why even try to disguise that as a business meeting at that point? It's a weird bit. And
Yes.
I guess I'm trying to wrap my mind around, when is it appropriate at a business dinner to light that many candles? And when what's the candle to business ratio?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Well, for every one business, there are 12 candles. There's a moment in that scene where they share a moment.
Yes.
Like the guy and the girl share a moment that is like pretty intense.
Yeah.
And then the camera goes over to the third guy there, and I'm like, you need to leave right the second.
Right.
Like you need to be like, well, that's my time. But it just was weird instead.
Yeah.
Just real weird.
The whole thing, it's one of the more uncomfortable scenes, and I just didn't know what they were going for.
They had a lot of saucy tension, and unfortunately, one of those times takes place with another person in the room, and
Yeah.
they don't know what to do with the
Yes,
situation.
correct.
And you hate to see that. You hate to be in
really
that
do.
situation. You hate to be in that situation. I want to know a little bit more about the gym that he now owns. This gym, he mentions that he bought the gym, and like, is this purely for learning how to play basketball? Do these kids ever play against other kids? Is there more to the gym, or is it just a basketball court?
There's not scarcity of basketballs, I can tell you.
No,
that.
there's a lot of basketballs,
They
and
wanted to
so
make sure you knew it was a gym. They brought 3 full racks in there.
is it? Does he sell memberships? Does he make any money on this thing, or is it just purely just for the community? I just want to know more about that, because all we see is the basketball gym where he is doing one-on-one or one-on-two basketball training, and so I want to know what else actually happens in this gym.
I just want to know a little bit more about the most inefficient coffee shop on the planet. There's a coffee shop, which I don't know if you know this, in every coffee shop that I've ever been to, you order and pay, and then you wait somewhere else for your drink. But in this coffee shop, you're waiting in a single file line for your drink, I guess, or to pay. I don't know what was happening there, but they weren't paying. They were just waiting for their drink in one line. It's a bad system. Let's scrap it. Scrap the system.
Scrap
and
the
redo it.
system.
Scrap the system.
Scrap it.
We did, everybody. Congratulations. Another one down. It's time for the Double Decker of the Week. It's where we do a deep dive into the life of one of the Double Deckers who signed up for BrillantGymPlus.com at the Double Decker or higher tier, painted us a deep dive, and tells us their story on Google Plus, not that Google Plus. Dan, who do we have today?
We have Lynn Austin.
Whoa,
Lynn Austin.
Lynn is just quality.
Quality.
All the way across the board.
Capital Q.
5s in every category out of 5.
5s in every category.
Out of 5.
And out of 5.
In every category.
Every category.
Man, that's impressive.
Just 2 thumbs up for Lynn.
Right.
And one thing about Lynn, she loves nature.
Right.
Big fan of the nature.
Yeah.
And so she started a company called U-Haul.
U-Haul.
Something to do with EWEs, use?
Yes, you got it, Dan. Thank
Yeah.
you. She takes the different U's and she drops them off for people who are getting ready to move, just to kind of make their day a little bit brighter.
So she takes the U's out while someone's trying to load up a truck, and they sit there in between like hauling a piano and a sofa and going, man, at least those U's are having a good time.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
And because
the
it brightens her, she understands the power of nature to make your day better.
The U's don't actually do any of the hauling.
No. she hauls the used.
Yeah, she hauls
It's
the used.
U-Haul.
Yes.
Okay.
She drives a truck full of used out there.
Great.
Tons of them.
Does it always?
They're all in a truck.
Has it always worked out for her, or does it ever get a little?
There was one time. There's been some dicey moments.
There's
been
had to be some instances.
There was one time where the used got out, and people were carrying some heavier items.
Oh, no.
And the items did not fare well. None of the used were hurt, which thank God.
Thank you.
I mean,
Yeah,
that would have been a disaster. So, but overall, the people have been relatively happy.
Relatively happy.
Now, she does not. I will say the other kind of caveat to this, and I've talked with Lynn about this, but she tends to not typically ask people. She just kind of shows up whenever she sees it's a moving day.
So they don't. It's not a service she gets paid for.
No, it's volunteer right now, which is just amazing, right?
Yeah,
That's
out of
why
the goodness of her heart,
Wow.
she's showing up to people.
Where does she
on
live, and what's
one
the
of their
radius?
worst days of the year and dropping off livestock?
Yes,
Yeah.
that is.
Where does she live, and what's the radius in which she will travel to bring the news to you?
Yeah, she lives in Tipsy Annie.
Tipsy Annie?
Tipsy Annie.
F Downs?
No.
That sounds fun. Where's that at?
Oh, it's Nebraska.
Tipsy Annie, Nebraska.
Yep.
And what's the radius?
Well, she's covered. It's pretty much the entire Pacific Northwest. Also, she'll
So
just kind
she
of haul
does
around.
Nebraska into the PNW.
Yeah, that's right.
So, but like Arizona, no go. Oklahoma, no go.
No go for Oklahoma.
But Nebraska, she can get out to Portland, Oregon.
No, she'll make it.
Yeah.
She just loves the PNW, and the PNW loves the U's.
Yeah.
Yes, they do.
It's a triple U.
How about that? Well, we did, everybody. Congratulations. We're going to be back tomorrow with the Hallmark movies and mysteries movie with little Holly Robinson Pete. Wow. Brian's going to join us for that one. Can't wait for it. Until then, maybe we're the first to wish you a
Merry Christmas!
Hallmark is the That Sounds Fun podcast. It's produced by Tracy Noah's name. It's recorded live in Greenville, South Carolina. For more information on Deck the Hallmark, you can go to deckthehallmark.com.